Me and Drama, we been away, we been created the drip. They been trying to copy us. They hated to see what we was creating. They didn't want to see us make it far, but we kept going, and we never stopped. I feel like ever since high school, we always just stick to the script, and like, we just knew what it took to get to where we wanted to be, and we just knew we needed to strive harder than anybody else. I remember times when we didn't really have nothing, but we just made anything and just made shit happen. Like, sometimes you just gotta go outside your way just to follow your dream and just, you know, make these people just understand where you really trying to go. And I feel like that's what we really did for the city. And now we just, you know, created a whole type of wave out here where people could know exactly who we are and just know that we ain't coming here to play. So I made a promise that I ain't never gonna stop until they put me in the grave. It's forever the Bay.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Peace, beloved, peace. It's your homie, Young Content, the unofficial sensei of the culture, mastering youthfulness, contentment, not contentment, and NFTs. Welcome to the show. This is the 76th episode. Let me say hello to myself because there's like people in the chat. Boom, chat is working. Interact with the chat. That's some house rules. We have a legend in the building, but before we get to her and transition and bring her into the dojo, how's your mind? How's your energy? Can you guys hear me first and foremost? I got to get some lo-fi on my lo-fi playlist, my favorite lo-fi playlist, because you know what I mean? Can't be a sensei without the lo-fi playlist. I see Laura Zombie has entered the building in her full red glory. I've seen Mike Mvella is in the building. Holy smokes. Huxley Legend. Maddie L. Happy Tuesday, fam. Looking forward to today's show. Thank you. I'm happy to be here. Pete Fang, the waiting room lobby music is unmatched. Pete Fang, I think you had a birthday or something. Shout out to you. That's Swickie's beloved, so super dope to have you in here. We're all about respect, beloved. We're all about it. We're all about the vibes here, and there's no one else better, I feel, in the space than the vibes of Swickie. You would know. She makes you feel at home. She makes you feel like you belong. She's doing cool things. So, could have got her on the 100 episode, but it's nice to get her on the 76. Shout out to Energy is Good Sensei. Thank God your energy is good. Cause last time you called me, you freaked out on me. I was crying. I'm gonna cry before I even start. Don't cry. You're in the dojo. The ninjas kidnapped her in the good way. They brought her to the dojo. So if you don't know, I have a bunch of ninjas that work for me, a bunch of gurus, and we have a dojo, a community, a Discord where we just talk alpha, plays, and vibes. So if you're not in the dojo, you can get in the dojo by buying a toy. Check my link in bio at Young Show. YUNG, take out the O. But Steph Soto in the building. Is Jennifer Soto here too? Holy smokes. We ready? I know. She said she said I'm tired of seeing you, Young. All right, screw you, Steph. We sure do. Yeah, the ninjas got each other's backs. So yeah, let's get it. Without further ado, let me lower this music. Let's bring in the legend herself. Swickie, aka Kiki, aka Topshot Swickie. Let's go. Peace, beloved.
Hello, how are you?
Hey, thanks for being on the show. Super happy, super contagious smile. How's your mind? How's your energy? How you doing today?
I'm doing great today. Got all my ducks in a row, got my energy here with you. I'm having a great time already.
For sure. So super thankful that you were able to do this. I know the ninjas took you to the dojo. Are you okay? You're okay? They kidnapped you. You're safe.
Yeah. You just said such nice things. I was like, oh my God, I'm going to cry before I even start.
For sure. Welcome to the dojo. For those that don't know who you are, you got some new people, some new faces in here. Give them the 1 minute Swickie pitch.
The 1 minute Swickie pitch. I started in Topshot last March. I hit a rare. I got super hooked on Topshot, and then in May in April I bought a Zed horse, ran the Zed horse, and then May bought BAYC minted, then from there I minted a BAYC, which is really crazy because I was probably one of the last people to mint. I tried to get another one and it just failed. So I think I was like one of the very last people to grab one. So that was interesting. And from there, I joined a couple of Discords, and I really didn't expect to be so fully immersed into NFT. But here I am, and I kind of like grabbed my BAYC IP and ran with it.
Sheesh. I gotta give you the Drake okay soundbite. Okay. That's dope. I know in the early days of Topshot, it was we met Jennifer, Steph, Newbie, you, Can't Stop Mike. There was a bunch of great rising stars. You could feel it in the chat. I know a lot of people thought I was a shiller or something. I was just trying to do good by the Topshot. I mean, I was talking shit. What does that community mean to you? I mean, it's like, I feel like right now in Swickie's life, you're kind of like a real OG, a respectable person in the NFT space. People look up to you. But going back into those early days, what did those early days mean to you with that community?
Yeah, well, see, I consider myself more of like still a student of the OGs, which would be you guys, because you guys started out like back in October, right? November. So for me, like I walked in March, and I just really learned a lot. I learned so much from like all of the people in the Discord. I know that Steph and Jen, like I was always watching their streams. Newbie was on, Preety would be on. And really like that one group called Topshot Seals, which had like Girl Dad, Deconomist, Bored James, like all of those people. I just really learned a lot of strategy moves from them and really learned how to play the game, because I wasn't really a card collector or anything before this. In fact, I really didn't collect anything. So coming into Topshot, it just really kind of changed the way that I interacted with people, and honestly, just hobbies of my own, like having my own Topshot. Like I really take care of it. Like I finished the Lakers set, like now I want to like move on to other sets, and all of these things I did by trading or like selling my art. So it's not like I came in with a bunch of money. I just kind of like built it brick by brick. For sure,
brick by brick, for sure. I mean, you can't really see the fully wall done, but you lay brick by brick. If that thing is going to be big, I mean, I feel like you're building a really great foundation. Shout out to all, it's honor to you say I'm an OG. I feel like you're an OG. What I always ask everybody on the channel, from Ben Morrow to DCL Blogger, what do you love to do? First and foremost.
What do I love to do? Yeah. I love to connect. I love to connect with people. before I didn't really consider myself a very social being, but I'm starting to notice out of this whole experience that it's pretty crucial to my being, like, especially to connect with people who have the same, interests or experiences. And honestly, like, we're the only people that could really understand like what this has done to us and like what it will do to the world. Like, nobody else will have this experience in 2021, 2022, like, if I go to my friends in real life, I could try to explain it to them, but they're not really here, like, immersed in this like really weird but awesome place where we're like, we don't know what this is, but we're just gonna like do it,
For sure. I mean, I get tired of hearing the whole scam thing, the whole we're doing it wrong, we're kind of making capitalism live on. When you see like a lot of people just, I was poor before that NFT. I was, working for corporate America, doing dead end jobs. So it's like, what do you say to the people who don't? You just kind of hit the, you just hit a grand slam in a sense. Like, you really got to be entrenched in that. What does being entrenched in this community mean? Like, how do you do it for the newbie? Like, what the people that think it's a scam? How would you suggest they enter?
Yeah, it's interesting because like obviously right now there's just like a huge disconnect between like who's responsible for what, right? Like right now we're fighting between like, well, it's the responsibility of the leaders to lead the new people into this like promised land, right? And then, but it's the responsibility of the new kids to like do your own research. And I just really think that it's like a little bit of both. And this is like, it is a free market. Like the decentralized idea is here. Like, everybody has decided like, we're going to like run this like decentralization. But, even in that, there's like a level of responsibility that we have to each other, which is not to scam each other, not to lead people astray in that way. And I do agree. Like when I came in, I didn't know shit. Like I truly didn't know a fucking thing. Like a lot of people helped me.
I still don't know shit. Here's the soundbite. Haha.
Yeah.
You can't hear it, but that was the Simpsons haha moment. But yeah, keep going. Sorry.
No, but I still like, we're all still like learning together. And I just think that, like it benefits all of us to be as responsible as possible without like holding somebody's hand to do it. Like all of my friends that have come in that were not part of NFT, like they all did their own research. Like I gave them links and stuff, they read about it and then they came in, but I prepped them for it. Like you have to be careful of all these things. So I think it's just like on us to be responsible to a certain extent. But of course, like after you're like immersed in here, like you have to really pay attention to what's going on. Like you just can't turn blind eyes to things and then expect that you like bear no responsibility, So I think it's twofold. I just think that on one hand, like we're free to do as we wish. And, like, I'm not like judgmental about like what it is that people do unless you're straight up scamming people. Like that's obviously like not cool. So I
just hope that we never get to those events and we have like people like, religious people that hold the signs and say Jesus is coming back or burn in hell. Like I really hope that doesn't happen in the NFT space when we're at an event and there's just bad propaganda. Yeah. I'm like, dude, that's just not the vibe, dude. That's not what we're about. I think we just have to be the examples, really. So
yeah, and if it is, and if that does happen, like, we just will know that we can't pay attention and give into, accommodating them. And I think that's kind of like what I've been living by lately. Like I do what it is that I do and everybody else does too. And as long as we're responsible and not like maliciously causing harm to someone, like that's what this place is for. So absolutely.
Shout out to the chat, Walshy. Shout out to him. Topshot OG says, let's effing go. Ren says, thanks, Doc. Steph says, haha, the sound effects. Steph, I love your stream too. You are a master. We definitely need to host a big show together. Pete Fang says, morning mantra. I still don't know shit.
Yeah.
I got to give you the soundbite for that. Crate says, you're Topshot Swickie. I love the chat. True Swickie is the best. Yes, Star Girl. Swickie is the best. Guys, I forgot to play the soundbite. This is one of my favorite ones. Hold up.
We'll do it live. Okay. We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live.
We gotta do it live. Always doing it live. Speaking of doing it live, you're doing something with your Bored Ape that no one is doing. Is you have a Bored Ape named Kiki, and you're making its identity sticky and tangible. And I feel like a lot of people are scared to do that. I think you're pioneering, and I think you'll probably have a lot of alpha to share. So, what is going on with your Bored Ape, and talk about the struggles of the process, and the way it makes you feel.
Sure. So I entered Kiki in the Punks comic round, and she did all the brackets and then won. So she's the only female ape that's in Punks comic, which, you know, is kind of crazy because there are other female apes. But I just really kind of like, I couldn't have done it, first of all, without like all the communities that I was a part of. And it just so happened that I was like Topshot, like Ghosts, Discord, like all these different places. So I think it really helps for people if they're looking to figure out like how to gain more exposure to really just be a part of their community, and not in a fake way, like looking for votes or whatever, but just really like places that you exist and like that people, you know, you get along with. So a lot of those people really helped me get to where I'm at now. And it was a long road with Punks Comics, but they wanted to do it right. Like since then, Pixel Vault has like, you know, gotten representation at like CAA, and they have lawyers and like doing the DAOs right. Because a lot of the DAOs, like, you know, legally speaking, like they can't really be DAOs. Like otherwise they're considered like certain securities and whatnot. So they've been doing a lot of work on their end. And with Kiki, I just decided like, at first I was really like scared to say yes to things. Like people would ask me like if they could use her on, you know, whatever. And I was like, I don't know. And then like pretty soon I just started saying yes. So she was like in Hong Kong at the promenade, like around the same time that the Christie's auction was going on in Asia. She was in museums in Shanghai and Beijing. And so like once these things started happening, I feel like I started getting people from like Asia, like coming onto my Twitter and like, hey, like I saw your ape, like, what is this about? And so after that, you know, I was like, well, this looks like it could kind of take off. Like to me, I see Kiki as like kind of like a representation of like how far we could push the envelope with our IP, because you can get like a rep, you can get an agent, and you can go that route, which is great, which is what Jenkins is doing for a lot of people. And that's awesome. But for like just a regular old individual like me, like, you know, what is it that we could do ourselves to like further along this IP journey? So I did a fashion line with the former co-founder of Cooks and Castles, Dee Calvero. Then we did the mural. And then ever since then, I just feel like putting her out there in that way has really been good, because now like people know that we're open to like licensing deals. So now they'll come to us and ask like, are we interested in certain things, you know? But really it was just like me like letting go of that like centralized idea of like ownership to like be, to like hoard my thing, you know? Like once I kind of like let go of that, and I was like, well, the blockchain knows that I'm the owner, right? Like, then I wasn't scared to say yes to stuff. And I feel like that really opened up a lot of doors for Kiki.
For real, it reminds me of like people who have like maybe like Spider-Man #1, the comic from the 1950s, and they're doing tours. They're showing it off. They're meeting people. It's like it's kind of meta that you took your IP and it's agent in a sense. You in essence made it a live living entity. And congratulations for winning. That was
Thanks.
huge. So is being Kiki's agent tough?
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, it takes like two of us. It's like me and Peter kind of like tag teaming, you know, like, I mean, there was a certain point where I was like, this is so much, like we might even need like an assistant. But then the idea of having an assistant is so silly to me, because it's like, here's this like cartoon character that like, I'm like,
dude, it's not silly. That cartoon character is going to be running around Sandbox and doing deals and signing things. It's like, you got to make sure they're hydrated and they have like a charcuterie, you know, they got to be taken care of. Moisturized.
Yeah.
You got to make sure, even if you're, you know, in the other world.
Yeah, she's like way more famous than I am. Like if I walked into a Discord, like nobody really knows, but if somebody says, oh, like that's Kiki's owner, they're like, Kiki? And I'm like, she's like her own little person now, you know? She's like running around the metaverse and like the world. And even when we were doing her mural, like I think we onboarded maybe like 3 or 4 people from that experience, like being out there First of all, of course, the graffiti artist that did it, he's a legend, and he's been like doing graffiti for 30 years, and he co-founded ICECREAM. So kids were stopping by and getting like his autograph and stuff. And that was mind blowing enough for me. But then people would like come by and be like, what is this? And most of them are artists. That's why they're in that area. And so I would explain to them like about Web3 and about NFTs. And a lot of them, I like linked up with them on IG, and like half of them started their own NFT projects, their own art projects. So to me, like ICECREAM is more, like you said, an agent, but not just an agent for BAYC, more just like an agent for Web3 in general. Like she causes conversation, you know, and like through that conversation, we're able to kind of like bring new people into it. So
I love that. I love that. That encourages me. It actually gives me life for what I'm trying to do. I think you're pioneering it. It's funny that you said you were an OG, because I'm telling you, you're OG. You're pioneering people to use their IPs, their NFTs. What do you think about the current state of BAYC? It's beautiful seeing celebrities come in. You were there before that. What does BAYC mean to you, in its true core?
I mean, it's changed my life, to be honest. You know, I love BAYC because they always do things slowly and they do it right. I know that people kind of tend to get like when about everything, but they really dot their I's and cross their T's with things. And I mean, imagine like, look at how much value that they brought us already. They like airdropped us a dog, which is now going for how much ETH, you know, airdropped us this, that, the other, created this whole experience for us in New York. Like, going to like bring a token to our lives. Like these are things, like you said earlier, like before some of us were doing odd jobs and things that we didn't really want to be doing for not the amount of money that we should have been getting paid. And now it's like, you know, as long as we're like cultivating these relationships and kind of like taking a really good care of the things that we're buying from the get-go, like that could bring us wealth in a way that we really never had. And so for me, BAYC, they're like the cream of the crop. I mean, Topshot, of course, is like, you know, on its own level. But
yeah, sometimes I struggle liking Roham. I'm sorry, but hey, it is what it is. Roham, I'm giving you a hard time, and Jacob, to the day you die, we'll get a drink. But I've given you a hard time in the Discord. But yeah, it's all family. It's all love at the end.
Yeah, and it's hard because like with Topshot, of course, there's like, you know, a lot of people that poured their life savings into it, and then it really dipped hard after that 1 month, you know, back in 2021. And it's like, that's kind of like how the free market works. So it's like, I don't know, things were really inflated. I'm one of the people that came in and bought up all the like super inflated prices.
Me too, dude.
You know, first.
You got a full Cool Cat set? You still have it?
I have a full Cool Cats. Yeah, I still
You got your
have
sweater?
it. I'm not giving it up.
Oh shit! You got the LaMelo.
I did get the sweater,
Let that thing marinate for 10 years. You're gonna have the retirement package. That's your 401k there. You got multiple 401ks.
Yeah.
And Vela says you're an inspiration for women in this space. That's awesome.
Oh, that's so nice.
Guys, please like the stream. Okay, like the stream for grandma. All grandmas across the world. Tell your grandma to come watch this. Please, that's important. And grandmas watch this stuff. I wanted to say also, just more context who you are. What were you like as a kid or a teenager? Were you like a rebel underneath the bleachers? You said you weren't a collector. What were you like? What was the essence of young Swick?
I was an only child for 7 years, so probably made me a little bit weird.
Okay, so like eating lint and all that jazz, or licking random.
I grew up in the country.
Okay.
So I didn't like the closest mall, the closest movie theater was an hour away. The closest grocery store for a long time. We didn't even have a light in town.
Whoa. So candles, so
like,
straight candle lit.
Yeah, like I was like Little House on the Prairie. Like
when you say the country, where though?
Do you know Monterey County?
Okay, Monterey County. Yeah, that's in California. Okay.
Yeah, it's like an hour and a half south of San Jose. So it's like where all the crops are grown. Like my grandparents came here to pick the crops. And so they were like, you know, in agriculture, and then also worked in manufacturing companies, like, you know, working at the garlic fields and all that. And so my mom was the first one to like go and get her degree. She's a nurse, a registered nurse. But I'm the first one from my family to graduate from college at all. So a lot of versatility on that front, you know, but I was like a really weird kid, and I liked being outside. So I was outside all the time. And where I lived, if you would like ride your bike down to the creek, like literally mountain lions would be like walking around.
Whoa.
Yeah. So it was pretty wild.
So
but I had a lot of fun.
That gave you thick skin in this market. That gave you thick skin in who you are. It kind of gave you a wholesome identity, huh? You really know who you are.
I think I was wholesome, but probably not prepared for like city life. So when I moved to LA, it was like super culture shock, like people wise too, because I was like confused, like why do people act certain ways? But that's because I think I had been around like adults my whole life mainly. Yeah. And so it was quite an adjustment, but actually like, I feel like now I'm good. Like I went to college, I did my thing. And now that I'm in Web3, I feel like this just like combines everything that I was ever interested in and just kind of puts it into one pot.
Wow. This reminds me of the show Viking. Ragnar Lothbrok is a farmer who becomes a king, and you're a farmer that becomes a queen. So that's really dope. You can see the dichotomy in that. I mean, being in Web3 from farming, that's a huge transition, right? So,
yeah.
Holy smokes. So when it comes down to Web3, what is what do you think of Web3? I think we say Web3 a lot. I don't think we have really even seen what's gonna the precipice of Web3 with like AR, VR, metaverse living. You've seen a lot of influx of new people in the space talking about Web3. What is your take on Web3 practically for those that really, really need some alpha? Like, how can they navigate in Web3 now? Because all we're doing is collecting, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I think pretty interesting things are happening right now. Like, for example, I don't know if you've heard of Probably Something. Have you heard of it?
No, I was responding to Peter Fang, said, "Young, you a goat" for that reference.
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
I heard of what?
It's called Probably Something.
Okay.
So it's this kind of like platform being built by some of the kids from the Ghost Discord. And I say kids because they're younger than me, but actually they're like full-blown adults and they're very responsible people. And so I bought their Genesis token recently, but like to me, like everybody is collecting right now, but I'm starting to see like that influx of like people who are starting to want to build upon, the structures that we have already. So like tools and analytics, easy whitelist and tracking. Like imagine like tracking all of your projects and like having like a task list. So you're like, oh, this is what I have to do today, instead of like going into the Discord manually, like things like that. Those are the kind of things that I'm kind of like looking at right now and investing in, because I think they'll be huge. And I think everyone's going to use them. It's just a matter of like who's going to do it best.
Wow. So you really gave us some tools that during the bear market are probably going to shine. That's what's up.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to be building and we're going to be using their tools eventually. And it'll just like really take a lot of like productivity time away from like being in the Discords all the time, trying to figure out like what's what,
Yeah. I feel like we talk about Web3, but we know that AI component is coming, that algorithm AI for real virtual assistants, real robotics. That's really what I want to see. I'm kind of getting fucking tired of these rug pulls. I'm getting rug pulled left and right. Yeah, the rug
pulls are bad.
I'm getting rug pulled left and right. I can't even. I'm gonna quit. Very soon. But what is your?
You know what? Everybody keeps going back to it though. Like they let them rug pull them, and then they go back for more. It's like stop giving those people money, and then they'll stop.
Facts.
So.
But do you think that you really are a full-time degenerate? Like, do you feel like you're a full-time degen? Do you like that word? Do you use that word amongst your friends? We do use that word a lot, but do you feel like you're a degen?
Yes, I would say now. This is actually my third week. Like, I quit my job actually.
Let's go.
So this is my third week in NFT full-time, and actually I feel like more busy and like more stressed. Stressed but blessed.
Facts.
Stressed but blessed.
Facts. I'm gonna give you the Shire sound from Lord of the Rings so we can equilibrium this mood out. Yeah, definitely. Stressed but blessed.
Yeah. So yeah, it's just a really interesting time. Like we're starting to see all the friends that we grew up with in this little part of the world, like, you know, veer off into like their own person and their own thing. And I think that's so beautiful. I think they're making the money that they wanted to make, you know, nobody's keeping them down. They're making their own schedules, doing stuff that they like. And I just think that's like, what more could you ask for, you know?
Yeah, what more can you ask for? It is beautiful. I feel like I have a bunch of sons and daughters out there just like, damn, I'm so proud of you, like as Sensei Young, like I'm so proud of you. Like there's so much love in this space. It really is a lot of love if you really can find the pockets in your community. There's an oozing amount of love there for sure.
Yeah.
So 3 weeks in, I heard you got some big things around the corner. I mean, you're an epic photographer too, right? So was that something you learned in the country, like?
No, I went to grad school at USC and I went for film and television production. So we were trained to do that. But before that, I was already shooting on film. I do medium format. So medium format's 120 film. You could blow it up to a billboard size. So I'm working on like old ass cameras as well as digital. And it's just like always been my first love. And to be honest, I like did not think for 1 second that those pictures would like ever see the light of day. Like they were just things that I had and held, and like I was like, oh, like this is just a hobby of mine. But back in August, well, first I started my Moonbeams, which is my art collection for like space related stuff. But I put out 4 collections on photography and then 3 more since then, and I think all but 3 are sold out.
Hold on, I gotta give you the sheesh. Hold on, that's not. Hold on, stay there. Look at this, guys. It's a choir sheesh. You guys will love that. But 3 out of 4.
I believe so. I have 10 photography. I think there's 10 now. I think there's 10, and all but 3 are sold out.
Congrats.
And, you know, thank you. And it's just not something that I ever thought would happen. And I have more collections coming up. And then on Thursday is kind of like the biggest thing that ever happened to me still or yet, which is I'll be on Spaces for CoinDesk. Josh Ong will be hosting, and Justin Aversano will be on, and he's like someone that I look up to. So for me, and Drifter Shoots.
Damn.
And Drifter Shoots, I've been following him on IG since like day one.
Damn,
so
bro, you better be in the Met Gala.
I was like freaking out. I was like, wow, this is like a lot. And I don't know, I'm just really, really grateful. I'm really thankful.
You deserve it. I mean, you really deserve it. I mean, your photography and just, you know, Josh Ong and just the connections you have in this space. It's like, you know, give credit where credit is due. You see the people that put in the work. You see the people that have been here that haven't rugged. Like they deserve their voice to be heard. So, super excited. So what does Justin mean to you? I mean, did you grow up watching his stuff or looking at his stuff, and are you hoping for a collab one day?
Of course, like, you know, that's the dream. When people you admire are like doing amazing things, you hope to collab with them. But also, like, I also just respect his work like by itself. Like, I don't want to mess up his work.
You won't mess it up.
I think he does awesome stuff. And like, for me, like, he mixes media. So he like does film photography, and then he takes like papyrus from Egypt and then like, you know, screen prints like other designs on it and does all this cool stuff. And so for me, like, it's just been a really cool way to learn from him how to like thematically create photography collections. Cause like this one's called Smoke and Mirrors, and he's got a bunch of psychics and like mystical people, and then like kind of like their story. And then he, on top of that, does the papyrus and screen print thing. So there's like all these layers of like really cool storytelling that he's doing with his work. And I just really appreciate that. I think that's cool.
Yeah, sounds like my type of people. Probably his work is probably like 10 ETH though. It's probably astronomical. Right?
It is, yeah.
Yeah. He's one of those guys.
It's like way out of my price range now, but you know, we'll see.
Steph Soto says dropping big names. Let's fucking go. CT is in the building. Says legend. Y'all ain't ready. CT, thanks for being here. You're apparently a goat, and goat recognize goat. Goats recognize goats. Yeah, that's awesome. I think with Drifter Shoots, I mean, I wanted to ask. This is a little off topic. But when I notice in these Twitter spaces, I want your opinion because I respect it. When I go to these Twitter spaces, They're funny sometimes, you know. They're all just like, it's like a big circle jerk sometimes. It's like, okay, can you just get to the point? I'm pretty sure you're trained on Twitter Spaces to just like deliver alpha and engage, but there's a lot of Twitter Spaces I just can't stand.
I mean, honestly, like most of the Twitter Spaces I don't go on because it's just kind of like insufferable. Like
I know, dude. And they want you up there too, because I've seen Twitter Spaces. Yo, Swickie, come up here. Like, we're just showing love from afar, you know. We're trying to build. We don't know, no judgment. It's just we got to build, you know.
It's funny because I was in there for crypto race, like in the middle of the night one night, and I like made sure to check before I went in there. I was like, okay, none of these people follow me, so like if I go in as Swickie, like I'll be fine.
Yeah.
So I get in there, and like within 30 seconds, someone's like, Swickie's in here, and I'm like, oh fuck.
Oh sheesh. Damn, bro. Web3 like, celebrities.
Well, it's weird to me because like that's not something that I don't think anybody really ever gets used to. And if Steph hadn't like put me on ladies' night, this would never happen, you know. So it's just funny. It's just funny to see.
What does Steph and Jennifer mean to you, and Newbie and all them? And
They're
Pretty.
my girls. Yeah, Pretty, Steph, Newbie, CT, Jen. Like they're truly like everything to me. Like I would like stick a stiletto heel in somebody's neck for them, no questions.
For sure. Oh fuck. You went to the Gutter Cat gang and you try to fucking play with the girl gang? Nah, you're gonna get stilettoed in the head.
Yeah, I mean, they were here from like day one. They were in Topshot. Like they've led the charge for women, especially, and not just like, I'm not just like boxing them in like, oh, these are women who did it. It's like, no, they're fucking badasses who like came in and like took no names and just like slashed and burned in this field, you know? So I respect them so much.
They didn't ask for permission. They just fucking made a lane. You gotta respect it. You know, definitely going in the Hall of Fame. I literally put in the description that Swickie will be in the Hall of Fame of NFTs. I believe it. Lakers set collectors only, for sure. What is your favorite Topshot moment? I would really want to know, what is your favorite Topshot moment? I mean, for the people at home, basketball fans. You're a Laker fan?
That's a hard one. I am a Lakers fan.
Okay.
I know.
Oh man, sucks.
Performing well right now, but don't hate me for this, Lakers fans. But I gotta say, like the Steph shimmy is probably one of my favorite moments.
Dang, that's awesome. Steph Curry shimmy.
Yeah, the Steph Curry shimmy. Of course, anything that what's his name? Malik Monk, when he dunks, like anytime I see that, I'm just like, that's beautiful.
For sure.
But I really hold on to my Mike Connolly moment because it's narrated. What else? Yeah, those are the top ones that I could think of right now. But yeah, those are special to me.
I love that.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask, as a collector, are you collecting any NFTs before we go to the next topic? Any NFTs that are on your radar? Any alpha? I'm gonna give the APO sound. This is if you drop any alpha.
Yeah. Right now, what am I looking at? Right now, I'm into ethereal NFT, like the anime one. Avril is another one. Lens Protocol, which is another like tool useful thing I'm into. Oh, I'm like super deep in DeFi kingdoms.
DeFi. I heard playing that game is tough. Like you really gotta like play it.
It's not that tough.
Okay.
But you do have to, like, every day you have to pay attention to it. So I have like 2 heroes and I just like do quests with them. I like stagger them.
Whoa.
So I'm like, but it's how I learned about DeFi. Like I did the gardens, which is like the LP pool, and then you stake, which is like the bank. And honestly, it was like the only exercise that really like allowed me to really figure out DeFi. So I was able to do that. And then I like summoned to create a new hero. So now I have 2 heroes, and then they're both like working the garden or mining for me.
Whoa, sweet.
Yeah.
I mean, that's going to be great for like the new people that like you can learn DeFi by playing the game. Like that's the ultimate on board. That's what we've been talking about in 2016. It's happening.
Yeah.
I was going to ask, did you see the halftime show? Because I noticed on your Twitter, you have a photo with Snoop Dogg. And I looked, you know, the halftime show was epic. Him hitting the blunt before he goes up. What did that halftime show mean to you? I mean, I was like, you know, in a room, a bunch of young people dancing and grooving. They looked at me weird.
Popping and grooving, as CT would say. You know what? Like, I was young during the Chronic when it came out, but that was like the hip hop summer, right? It was like hot weather, pools, Chronic was on, like Snoop Dogg, MTV, like all of that, right?
Wine coolers.
So,
I'm just joking.
yeah, wine coolers, like stealing smokes from my mom who had it up in the cupboard.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so for me it was like, it was funny because somebody was like, you know, we're all like, finally, like Journey isn't on, instead we have these people, and these people are, wait, oh shit, I'm old, you know. So it's just like such a trip to see them up there, but they're freaking timeless. I mean, like Snoop Dogg, they all still hold their own. I mean, Dre, like all of these people are like staples, so we're never gonna get rid of them. And I just think it's like amazing that they were back. And Eminem, I saw Eminem at Coachella 2 years ago, and by far his set was like the most mind-blowing.
Oh,
so good.
I love how Snoop Dogg is still keeping himself relevant, and even in Web 2 to Web 3.
Yeah,
I think he's in Dre's ear, Mary J. Blige's ear, all trying to figure it out. But not I feel like you know, with what you're doing with Kiki, that's something immortal. And it's only just the beginning. What's some big plans you have for Kiki? You want her in a game? Is that like interoperable between like Sandbox and maybe a future metaverse, like Epic Games metaverse? What do you expect Kiki to be in like the next year or two?
There are things that I probably can't talk about, but there, you know, I have visions for her as far as like being like, you know, having her own like wearables line, having her own like space in the metaverse to like, you know, do something and be someone there. I really see her as kind of like a beacon for like people to kind of like follow and see what they can do with their IP if they're not represented by an agent. Like, we can all do this, you know. It just takes a little bit of like sifting through and like contacting people and kind of putting yourself out there. And maybe that's not really some people's element, but it really has like pushed me to be less shy and kind of like get what I ask for, you know. Kiki is really different because I'm really trying hard not to put her in situations where I'm like just in it for the money type thing. Like, I want to actually like grow her brand and grow her following so that it's organic and to the point where people kind of see this as like it means something to them. Like that, the fact that she's like a female ape, the fact that like she's owned by a female, the fact that she's like out doing her thing without like the help of like the Web 2 or like the capitalist structure, you know? So it'll be unavoidable at some point, but the longer that I can stretch it, like doing it on our own, I will. So
yeah, I mean, having the first Elite Ape female ape, I mean, that just screams like Congress. That screams Web3 Congress somewhere, you know.
Yeah,
when
Kiki
she's
for
like
president.
80, for sure, president. You know, imagine that shit. Imagine
I
that.
know, right?
Imagine that. You'll be
Like,
in a full
pretty
haptic
soon.
suit, and you'll be like signing contracts in a haptic suit.
That's wild. I actually never thought about that. Like, what if like someday like our president is actually just an avatar?
Yeah, and
Somebody's
it would be a
behind
Bored
it.
Ape. It would, honestly, it would be a Bored Ape. It would have to be that or Clone X or something. It wouldn't be a punk. I'm just joking.
A Clone X. Yeah, it wouldn't be a.
Oh my God, don't start. Yeah, you put it, Pete Fang's like, don't say it, because you're gonna run with it. You're gonna start making calls. You're gonna start going to Rolodex and go for.
No, well, it's tripping me out. Like these AIs, like for example, like you know Michaela in IG, like
Yeah.
she has her. So like, Danny Ukes recently brought up like an AI for like a Spaces, and it was like totally like robot voice, and I was confused. I was like, is this an actual person like just doing like the voice thing, or is it like a robot? And so that like freaks me out a little bit, you know, like how deep are we going to go into this?
Was it a real robot? He said. Shout out to my boy.
I don't
you.
know. I have to ask him. I'm not sure, but it was just like, kind of freaky. Like it took me down this like rabbit hole. Like where are we actually going with this? You know, like eventually, like we are going to be entertaining.
Fuck, bro. Someone's gonna
AI.
cancel me because of an AI, dude. Watch, dude. Someone's gonna literally do some bullshit on my behalf on
Yeah.
a Twitter space, and then I'm gonna get blamed for it.
Yeah,
Got
we're
it.
no longer going to be able to run our own spaces because they'll be better speakers than we are. Or
That's why I
something.
think the blockchain is gonna probably help us like identify who's who at this point with the, you know, IP wallet or cloud. I don't know. It's just Nice telescope back
And, like,
there.
Oh, thanks. Yeah.
Do you use
The
it
deep
to?
fake stuff, like, also kind of freaks me out. Have you seen the deep fake stuff? Like, where they, like,
Oh, yeah.
pretty much, like, superimpose, like, my face on you, for example, and it's just like, whoa, that's crazy.
For sure. I'm gonna put the Shang Tsung sound effect with that.
Your brother's soul is mine.
Literally, don't lose your soul. Your brother's soul is mine. I wanted to ask you as well. I always ask all my guests, if you could be a human, cyborg, or alien, which one are you gonna go for? Human, cyborg, alien, and why?
Alien, no question. Alien, because like, I could travel to different galaxies and do different things, and I could also put myself amongst humans if I'm a shape-shifting alien and just be here too.
Facts. A lot of people say cyborg because they think that they're playing against God being half organic, half unorganic, like, you know, but I'm like, just be an alien. I think you could, like you just said it, I think you won. Like, you can travel other galaxies. Who wouldn't want to travel other? I don't think cyborgs can travel other galaxies.
Someone put the cyborg together.
Yeah, the alien.
I don't want to be, the alien just, like, I don't know where it materialized, but it did. So I say no to the cyborg.
For sure. But if you're an alien that's like on its back or slug, you know, there's some really crazy aliens when you look at like Star Wars, you know.
Yeah.
They're just big blobs.
Yeah, some of the nasty ones.
For sure. You got to roll the dice. Non-fungible, what up, homie? Non-fungible, wonderful in the building. He makes great music around NFTs, hip-hop artist. I love your shit, bro, for real. Next body Wi-Fi, in my opinion. So thanks for being here. I got to get you on the show. I think I put you on the schedule. Thanks for coming in. We got a Legend Swickie. Make sure you follow her. Make a rap song about her ape. Is there any other chains that you really like for NFTs that you've been exploring? Non-fungible world loves Vivi. So what about you? What do you love? Other chains?
I of course had Axes before, so I was on Ronin, and I've been like farming Ronin with CT. CT is actually the one that got me into it. I have Magic. So, I was too late for small brains, but I do have Magic. And like I said, I have DeFi Kingdom, so Harmony One Network. Been doing a lot of that in Jewel. I don't really fuck with Solana. I know a lot of people do, but I don't know. I just kind of there's not really much interest for me, the projects that they have going. Yeah. But if I see something, I'm totally down to try new chains. So
facts. You do like Star Atlas on Solana? I mean, I think that's the only Solana IP I like, Star Atlas. But
no, I haven't even looked at it. But I'm willing to explore. I just haven't. Also, I've just been really obsessed with DeFi Kingdom. So
for real, bro.
That's where I've been spending my time. So.
DeFi Kingdom is Swickie's Pokemon Red for the Game Boy. This is the Game Boy version she's playing as a full grown adult but child in heart. I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that for us, for sure. These IRL events, where can people come find you and talk to you and chill with you? I know LA does a lot of meetups, and but where are you going to be for people to interact with you?
So we'll probably have things soon. I know coming up, as I don't know if, you know NFTBA. So Peter and Jasmine and Josh co-founded NFTBA. So basically you buy a token and then you participate in these 3-on-3 tournaments. And so upcoming in March, we're going to have NFTBA, and I would really love for everybody in LA or anybody who's coming to the NFT LA event to really look it up, because it's always really fun. Last time we had Richard Wagner and Spotty perform.
Ooh, Richard Wagner with the violin, I see that.
Yeah. And we had, we had the tournament and we gave away Jason. I don't know if he's in here right now, but he graciously and generously gave us a doodle to give away. Ooh. So there's pretty big prizes, and it's really fun to watch everybody play basketball. So I encourage you to come out for that.
And how big are the brackets of NFTBA? There's 10 brackets or 10 teams?
I think we've done 8 and 6, I believe.
Nice. A lot of chances to win.
A lot of chances to win. Yeah. And free throw contest, 3-point contest. Lots of cool stuff going on there. So, and then I have my own collective now. It's called Space Dust. So we're really looking to expand NFT times IRL type stuff. So you can look out for that too.
Wow, Space Dust. So I can only imagine you're gonna probably do like art houses or art experiences, and
That's the plan.
wow, Space Dust, what a great name.
Yeah.
Someone said DFK Queens, Futures in the building,
Yeah.
the rapper. Shout out to you guys. Make sure you like the streams. I think we hit 100 messages. I wanted also to ask Swickie, yeah, it was great having you on the show. I think you're a breath of fresh air. What do you think about the people who are losing their reputation left and right? And you know, I feel like you kind of maybe help them out. I feel like they maybe talk to you. I feel like if they would just talk to us, they were like, "Hey, dude, you don't do it for 5 ETH, dude. Do it for 30 ETH." You know, I'm just joking. Yeah. You can't. What do you think about just people losing their integrity here?
You know, if people would just disclose it, you know, it would really solve a lot of problems. Like, it would solve everything. Like, you could get paid, but you just have to disclose it, you know? I think it's kind of sad. Like, I've seen a lot of people really wreck themselves on this. And I just think that, like, you know, the more that you do it, it's not a pattern. The more you do it, you're a scammer. So it's like, you got to choose a side. Like, are you a scammer and you're going to continue scamming people? Or you, like, really want to reform and just, like, be honest with people? And really, that's it. Like, if you want to make your ETHs, go ahead. But you got to tell people. Otherwise, they're trusting your word for your word and not because, you know, you've been bought in. So
nice. And why do you choose? Do you disclose? Do you take ETH being for Swickie to, you know, you have a big name here. So is that something you want to do? No.
I've never taken ETH for promo. If I do something, it's because I actually believe in the project. Nobody's ever paid me to say anything.
But I'm pretty sure your DMs are full of those requests because I know I have them.
Yeah, I mean, people ask for stuff, like they ask for advice, and I just kind of point them back to, like, there's really, like, no rules. There's really, like, I don't have the answers. Like, I just solve trial and error, like, just like everybody else, you know, so.
Yeah, every time someone, I have a skit called NFTGURU, and I come out of a jacuzzi with a bunch of cherries, and this guy asks me, yo, I need to learn NFTs. And all I say is Discord. That's it. And I go back into the water. That's it. Go to Discord.
That's where you will find out anything that you want to know.
Yeah, but I'm noticing in these IRL meetups, there's like 60-year-olds coming, and they're like, dude, what do I do? I'm like, I don't even know what to tell you, bro. Like, you probably have to come into the Discord, and I gotta, like, guide you, because I feel like with a 67-year-old, it's like tough to get them on Discord and Twitters, and they just get lost in the sauce.
It is tough. It is tough, and it requires a little bit of patience, but I feel like I have seen people successfully come into this. Like, I don't know if you know the guy, he's an artist, his name is Victor. He's, like, legit artist, like Carmel, California studio, like, exhibit artist, and he came into NFTs, and he's asking me questions all the time, but I do take the time to help him because he, like, genuinely wants to learn it. He's not just asking me for, like, the quick answer. Like, I'm actually, like, explaining to him how to do it, and now he's a boss. Like, he's selling NFTs, like, doing all this stuff, and he's up there. I mean, he's not 30, you know? Like, so I appreciate, I'll take the time for stuff like that because I think it's important. Like, we have to remember, like, a lot of these older people, like, they're coming out of this system and, like, they're wrecked on their 401k. Yeah. Like, they're wrecked on, like, all these 10%. Other things. Yeah, so, like, you know, I always just take a moment and, like, you know, decide to help them because it could change their lives too.
Yeah,
so.
I got invited to the Drake Sports Illustrated party in LA for the Super Bowl, but Kanye ended up coming. So they ended up taking all the fucking no names like myself and wiping them off the VIP list. And I was thinking to myself, if I had a token of a community, that would never happen. And I think you're on your way to be a metaverse celebrity, you, Kiki, and everything you're doing. And I hope that you continue to stay genuine. Not everyone is going to be able to reach you. We do know that, but we're getting into a spot where we're going to really hang out with each other in this community. And probably hopefully change the world and not just be greedy fucks.
Yeah, exactly. I love that. And yeah, I will always take the time if anybody asks questions, and I will always make time for my friends and the people that we, like, grew up with here, you know? So.
Yeah, CT says Swickie is already a celebrity fan. Someone says, CT said, what is a 401k? Cyberpip says, integrity is truly invaluable. Respect. Thanks, Doc. Discord is the alpha. Guys, we are literally at the final moments of the show. Did we miss anything?
No, I don't think so. I just want to like say that you're like a huge inspiration. I admire you so much. Like, I love what you do here. I know we didn't get to talk to you, but maybe someday I can interview you.
That'd be love. I'm just a dumb sensei just trying to build community, and I think people like you help me just really bridge this community together. We need each other. You know, we all really do need each other here to have each other's backs when things get sticky. This is the part of the show where I ask you to channel your inner sensei. Let me turn this music off because this is a big moment. I'm gonna give you the gong, and the gong represents, you know, just the temple of the sensei. You can chill, you can marry somebody on this, you can do whatever the fuck you really want to do, but here is the gong. Hold on. Rhyming accidentally. You have the floor.
Oh, well, I guess I really hope that everyone here that is watching right now goes forward with a lot of prosperity this year, and really like builds what it is that they want to do. And we're all here together, and I'm really, really excited about the future, and I hope you are too.
Wow, short, sweet, Swickie Kiki energy hits different in 2022. I'm super grateful that you decided to be on the show. Thank you for those words of wisdom. Those are archived in my heart forever. Someone said Sensei time. Guys, thank you for hanging out with us. What was I gonna say? Fuck. Yeah. Do you say WAGMI or WGMI?
WGMI.
Thank God. Don't say WAGMI, people. That's just whack. I mean, I know
But I
Steph,
do
you
say
say it.
Meagle.
Oh God. That's not it. You gotta just pronounce them slowly. Abana right here is a Topshot legend. Yeah, yes. Thank you for this stream today. Big ups to the Sentinel. Big ups to you, Abana. Legendary DJ, house legend. Great job, everybody. Yeah, this was a vibe. This was one of my best shows. Yeah, let me go. I gotta go and meditate with some monkeys, and we're gonna make the JoJo even more fire. Shout out to Kiki. I'll see you in the metaverse. Thanks again, Swickie.
Thank you.
Yeah, live the dream, eat ice cream, and above all, stay content. Peace.
Awesome.